Break. Dago, putting on for the town.
I just need a reason. You just wanna know what's on my mind. Lately I've been thinking. Tired of all these thoughts, can't stand the sound. And they go. And they go. I just need a reason. You just wanna know what's on my mind. Tired of overthinking. Sick of all these thoughts, can't stand the sound. And they go.
And whoa, that transitioned quick. I was not ready for that very fast transition. I should have waited a little bit longer. Welcome in to Press Pass Live. We are back. First Press Pass Live in months, technically. I mean, we've been doing media days and we've been doing some other things, but first, like official, let's talk Madden and OMFL Press Pass Live in quite some time. I'm your founder. God, words. It's late. I'm tired. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Your founder and commission, Nate. My two buddies. You see him right here to my left. Mr. Maniac as always, and a new old returning face with his beautiful wife right there on his shoulder. I mean, she's not literally right there on his shoulder anymore. Mr. D. Wayne of the Dallas Cowboys. D. Wayne, Mr. Maniac, how you guys doing?
Wonderful. All good. I gotta keep her in the picture with me. You know, takes the attention away from my face.
I noticed that this Casanova, this very handsome young man, cannot send me a photo that does not have his wife included. He's got to have that arm candy. He's got to be a little bit of a bragger. He's got to show off that he's better than the rest of us. He's got it figured out. No, I'm just kidding. It's good to see you both. I am glad to have you here. Guys, it is time to talk Madden 25 as it officially launches today. And oh my gosh, this game is crazy loud. Let me get this thing lowered down just a little bit. That is crazy loud. I don't know why, but EA has this really bad habit of making all of their games crazy loud. And even though I've already adjusted it, this opening scene is still stupid loud. You guys ready to talk some Madden 25?
We are.
Let's do it.
All right, I'm going to be playing or having some gameplay play in the background while we're just talking about gameplay, but let's open up the conversation. We're going to talk about new running juke moves. I think they're calling it locomotion. It's this combination of AI-driven physics and new mechanics and 1,500,000 billion quadrillion animations that they've added to this game. It's all here. What do you guys think about this new locomotion?
Man, it's the few games I've played so far, it's different. I'll give it that. I hadn't played just a ton today, but I did get 4 or 5 games in against the computer and just a couple games against a few friends of mine, and it's different. It's going to take some adjusting, but I can see some stuff that's going to be fun to handle for the defense, I guess you say.
Yeah, I played a game I think against Big Hurt earlier right when it dropped. I hadn't had much time to play outside of that, but it played pretty solid. Like I mean, I don't like I said, just the one game I didn't know how really to feel about it. We did get some jukes in and stuff, but like for me, it felt a little bit unresponsive, so I wasn't able to like do much. And it could be because of my internet connection or whatever, but so it was kind of lacking for me on that. Now I did run some of the training stuff in the franchise and just outside of the franchise, just in the trainer, and it felt pretty solid. I mean, for as with the jukes, the one thing, that boomstick, man, where in Madden 23 you couldn't finish the chase and tackle training thing. You couldn't ever get past gold or silver. You could never get gold with it. I think I got gold and I had like 80-something thousand points because of just laying hit sticks every time. I was just I was abusing it.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about the boomstick. We're going to talk about that next. But the new running, again, I've not played the actual game. I've only played the beta, and the new running did feel pretty good in the beta version of this game. It felt natural. It felt more realistic, probably the most realistic running that we've ever had. And I think it's just going to take some time to keep playing, get more games under our belt. I think I've only got like 2 beta human games. I've not got to play the game. It took me forever just to figure out how to download this stupid thing. If you're out there trying to figure out how to download this stupid thing, let me just go ahead and tell you right now, it's a bit of a pain. You got to go over to your library. You got to go to sort of the full library of every game that you've ever purchased. You got to find Madden, and then they're going to give you several options within Madden, and you need to download the one that does not say beta. Nate downloaded the beta like 8 times before I figured that out, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's what you're supposed to do. So it does feel really good, though. Do you guys think that there are going to be crazy rushing numbers? Like, okay, in the past, they revamped the defensive line pressure, and we were like shattering NFL records by like week 4, right? I think the OMFL records now like 63 sacks or something like that. And then they like revamped a bunch of stuff, and we were shattering NFL records in passing. Do we think we're going to see some NFL or OMFL records broken through the running, or do you think it's just more natural and real and sort of balances out with the new boomstick and the new what are they calling it? What's the new tackling sort of? Is it called boomstick? No, I guess it's called boomstick, isn't it? I don't know what it's called. I'm so confused by all their
covers it all.
Yeah. So, do you think this balances it out?
I'll take the first stab at this one because I know with the game that I played with Hurt, we couldn't get any running going at all. Man, we were pretty much bottled up the whole game. It seemed like the offensive line wasn't, and I know like from the franchise to playing just a regular game can be different. But again, we couldn't get much running game going. And again, like I said, I don't know if it was connection, but he wasn't getting any running game going, and he was using the Falcons with Bijan, and my defense was just stuffing him pretty much every time he touched the ball. I do think pass rush is going to be a thing. I had like 7 or 8 sacks, I think, in that game against him.
Okay.
So
comp mode though, right?
Yeah, it was definitely it wasn't like just like every time, but definitely on like passes where he had to wait for the routes to go 15-20 yards. It was definitely a noticeable thing because
was this all pro comp mode or was this sim mode? Oh, Mad, like what'd y'all play on?
We played on sim all pro.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, so it was, but it was trying to simulate kind of like what we do in a franchise. But Yeah, it was definitely there was definitely pass rush, especially from the edge guys.
Yeah, I can agree with the Maniac on that one. The pass rush did feel a lot better. I didn't actually feel like it felt overwhelming. There was a few routes, you just kind of try a deep route, or like I guess you say like long forming routes. And
Mm-hmm.
if you get some good edge rushers, you're gonna make guys pay when they try to get those deep routes outside of just like a straight go route. Anything that takes any time to formulate, uh, man, if you got some pass rushers, you can get to the quarterback. I did notice in ours, the running, which I'm a hard-headed runner. I just keep running the ball, but I did notice if you get caught by that boomstick or the improved hit stick, if you get caught by that in some of those dance, juke, hurdle, sideways hurdle things, you get punished for it. We had a couple fumbles in our game, and like I said, we played all pro simulation, and I'm kind of hoping it sticks with that because I'm all right with with some of these new, I guess you say running moves, if the defense can counter it, if I can make somebody pay. In last Madden, there was times where you had guys that would juke, or they hit the line, they juke, and occasionally they would get they would kind of get punished for using those moves in the scrum. I hope this man takes it. From my first few games earlier, it seemed like they kind of tried to help balance the defense out a little bit by adding his new kind of tackling boomstick animations. And y'all know I love a good hit stick, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I did find, and I don't know, because again, I haven't got to play the real game you guys have. What's up, Kev? I meant to shout out you a while ago. Kev said, Mr. Wayne, sorry, I read doctor, but Mr. Wayne has risen from the dead. He has. He is going to try to join us on Press Pass Live a little bit more this year. I did find, though, in the beta, there was a real pocket. Like, in the past Maddens, you could rarely have a pocket. If you stepped up, it was usually a gross pocket that was all messed up. Did you guys find that there were pockets, or no, the pressure was just there too soon? Was it a clean pocket with edge pressure? Like, tell me a little bit more about the pockets, since I haven't got to really play.
Maniac.
You would.
Oh, well, in our game, like I said, outside of the long developing plays, I felt like I had time. Now I play with the Cowboys. The Cowboys' offensive line is not like it has been in years past. And from our games, I think I played the Eagles one game, and I can't remember what other team was. I felt like their defensive lines matched up perfectly against where my weaknesses were, and I felt like it got exploited, which I feel like that's how I would like it to be. If you have a weak spot and I have a great pass rusher on him, he should beat him occasionally, or more than occasionally. But like you said, I do think your normal routes, it seemed like you had time in that pocket, but I don't think you're going to be able to sit back there like we've seen last Madden at times where you would have 6-7 seconds to let those long developing plays go as often as we did.
Yeah, that's kind of what we experienced too. Big Hurt and I was. It seemed like the deeper the pass was, the quicker the pocket collapsed or whatever. We did have a few instances where you could step up, but if you have like a 4-man rush, and I was getting most of my pressure on 4-man. I was getting some off of like blitzing one guy here and there off of the edge or up the middle. But I'm telling you, like the one thing was, like, if you didn't recognize the blitz was coming up the gut and you tried to step up, man, your quarterback just gets absolutely slobber knocked in the mouth because you're stepping right into the teeth of that blitz. So, and we did have like 2 or 3 fumbles in our game too. So it was definitely something that you've got to prepare for now, because last man we didn't see very many fumbles at all. And then with the hit stick, I could never seem to hit or get it to connect last Madden, and I've been kind of the same way with NCAA. I can't ever hit the hit stick, but in this game so far I've been able to lay some wood, so it's definitely impressive.
Maniac out here laying wood. Pause. Good to see you, Bill. Good to see you, Denbrew. Listen, a good hit stick with you two sounds like a dangerous thing to be dealing with. I'm glad Maniac has left. I'm not glad, but I'm glad he left over to go play with the Bills. Let's talk about some of the conversation pieces around the new league. So I thought this was a good time for us just to have some franchise conversations. While the gameplay is playing here, I can kind of let everybody know some of the things that are going to happen. So deadlines are coming up. I don't know when we're going to start. I already hear Bird sending me messages. His fingers are filling up with piss and vinegar as he tries to ask me when we're starting. And the game doesn't even officially launch until Thursday, I think. I will be streaming all day Thursday, all day Friday. I'm going to be setting up some games, and I need to do that tomorrow or maybe on Wednesday. So we'll be doing that here really soon as we watch the Saints score a touchdown against the Cardinals here. So deadlines will come out after that. As soon as we have a feeling of when we can start, we got to get our hands on the game and find out, does it have bugs? Does it have issues? Kind of give it a good week and a half to see what is floating to the top, and then decide, oh, we can start pretty soon, or no, we need to wait. I would expect us to start sometime at the end of August, early September, sometime in that time frame. Until then, there is a test franchise up. Go have fun. Go play the game. Let's learn it. We got to figure out sliders and settings, all that stuff. We will give a timeline of the deadline to get your imports in. Once that deadline is passed, we still take donations, but I understand that people probably are not going to give donations if they don't get the biggest perk. So if you want to do that, if that's part of your plan, just let me know. Let's have that conversation. I understand real life. I was in my 40s before I could ever give this league a dime. So listen, I raised kids. I've been doing this since I was 24. I get it. Real life comes first. Just have a conversation with me. We can figure it out. We will have some restrictions around there. Those have already been posted. What's up, Daniel? Those are already posted. I will remind everybody throughout this week as we talk imports. There are no restrictions over your number 1 import. Your number 2 for being a donated platinum member is 90 overall. And then your number 3, if you played every game this season, I think is 80 overall. I could be wrong about that. Maybe you guys know off the top of your head, but those restrictions are still out there. Do you remember, Maniac?
Yeah, it's 80.
80, okay. I couldn't remember if I did bump them up from the past couple of years, just trying to give guys a little bit more for their money's worth, so to speak. There will be norming, and the way norming is going to work, what's up, Priest, is we're going to go through all of the main or every stat, and we're going to find out who's the top of that stat. That's going to be the very top line that you can be. So if it's not 99, if it's 97, 98, 95, whatever, for strength, for awareness, as Kyler Murray just breaks and long run on the Saints defense, whatever it is, that will be the cap for that attribute for any imports that are coming in. Basically, all we're trying to keep ourselves from doing is introducing, 8 new 99 overall, 99 everything players into the league when we don't have that many to start with the default roster. So that norming will be taking place. Create a coach. You when you join the CFM, you will be creating a custom coach. Pick whatever you want to pick, do it however you want to do, but we all start from ground zero. That will happen up to season 3. Starting in season 3 on, anyone that has to rejoin or new people joining, they will get an option to either start with a brand new fresh coach or to keep whatever coach the game gives them. It will be completely up to them. And then the final one is going to be just sort of the new stuff that you guys can talk. I have not got to do any of this. I literally downloaded the game, went and did church, stopped from church, and came and sat with y'all and got this fired up. So I haven't got to really do anything at all. But the new things within the CFM, it's basically the same. New UI, some new colors, some new tweaks, a little bit easier to find information, so it has sort of a fresh feel to it. But the basic information is the same. There is a new draft presentation since he's already been kind enough to present that. He's already posting about free agency. That is the OMFL in a nutshell. I haven't even got to break this game open yet, and people are already posting how long the CFM franchise is for free agency, how long the draft is, all the new perks for the draft. Like, that is the drive of the OMFL. And then finally, there's just new UI. Everything is basically the same, just has a slightly refreshed feel. I think there are a few mini games that are added, but what I like the most about this that actually is not a CFM feature, guys, and then it's open. I just want y'all to talk to me about anything you've touched, anything, pause, anything that you've touched, anything you're excited about, anything that you're looking forward to getting to play with, pause. The thing I'm most excited about is the team builder. I don't know that anyone will take the time to use it, but to be able to go build your OMFL team and do the work to do that, to have them to play in scrimmages during the off season sounds crazy exciting to me. And that is the thing that has always been missing from the console version of the OMFL that we had in the PC version of the OMFL, and that was the ability to export your team. So in the the PC version way back in 2001 through like 2007, 2008, you could export your team and go play other people that export your team. And so every year, free agency and draft would happen. We'd have a little bit of a break. Guys would go build their team and they would just practice and grind and create sort of their own preseason to get ready for the season with their team. You can literally do that with Create a Team now. You just have to put in the work. And that to me is crazy exciting. Like, we could do holiday camps. The toilet bowl, like, it would, again, take a lot of work. Most guys are not going to put in that work. But, like, the toilet bowl, you could play with your real OMFL team. We could do holiday tournaments where you play with your real OMFL team against, like, the NBC's teams or some other leagues' teams. Like, there's so many possibilities for content with Create a Team. I'm crazy excited. Anything new in the CFM that you guys want to talk about?
The one thing I did get to play with in the CFM was the training camp, and there's actually something in there to do for the offensive line now. So
That's what I heard.
so that's kind of cool. I played it. I will say it is extremely hard. So just be prepared to get bronze or silver only for a while. So because it is, but it was fun. So that was kind of a neat little thing. But just looking at the overall, like the layout and stuff, I do like it. It's a little bit more open looking, and so when you come in, you're looking at your home screen. It doesn't really have like per se like a lot to say, like, okay, your team is so and so or whatever, but it kind of stands out as being a league screen. So, you know, you're seeing your full franchise. If you're just sitting on the menu, it's actually scrolling through like different topics on its own instead of you having to manually hit everything over. So like it'll show like the goals for the season, and then it'll come back and it'll show your preseason schedule, and then it'll go over to the next thing, like showing the matchup, and it gives like the top 3 players from each team and where they rank for as points per game and all that stuff like that, and then it shows the weekly standings and stuff. So then so all that stuff's kind of like it's happening organically. You're not having to just completely fully having to go click to get the stuff. So it's kind of doing it on its own, so you can kind of, you know, you're doing something else and you're yeah, look at there, you know, Baltimore is like in the league in their division or whatever, you know. So I'm excited to kind of get into the draft. Again, I haven't done like Cincy to be able to go through everything yet, so but I do hope to do that eventually. But yeah, overall, I think like the feel and look of franchise definitely has changed and feels more open and more accessible.
Yeah, I think Maniac said that good right there. Like I said, it's just sitting at your home screen. You can just click over. Like I said, it will just scroll around, but everything's in there. You don't really have to go look for a lot of stuff. You can scroll down and look at some of the top stories, even though, you know, like in the last Madden, some of them didn't make sense sometimes. But I do like the dark layout of the home screen. And like you said, the training camp, I didn't go into the off season. I literally went in there to do the training camp stuff and to look how much I was fixing to have to pay a quarterback and receiver after the first year, which is a lot. So, yeah, it's so far so good. Like I said, I hadn't played a lot of the franchise. I played mostly offline, and like I said, just went in here and toyed around with it. But it looks good. I like the layout better this year than it was last year. But yeah, it looks good so far, the little I've touched with it.
Pause. A lot of pauses going on here tonight. It's so funny to hear you say like you like the dark layout, because I was literally just about to say it's probably the old man in me, because I do like dark everything. I like all the dark layouts. But in 2001, 2002, maybe up to 2003, 2004, it was always a light and bright open layout. And these kind of dark themes have been here for a while. And it was like, I just had a thought before you said that. I was like, man, I wish they would give us a light theme, like give us an option to have something light and bright. And it's probably just me reminiscing to the old 2001, 2002 days. But it does look cleaner. And I don't know how they do that or how they achieve that, but it feels like they don't change a lot, but just changing things like from squares to circle logos makes things feel cleaner. And it's like all you did was change the shape. Why do I feel like this is cleaner? But it just is, and it does. Let's talk about teams to watch for, guys. We picked out a couple of them. We picked out one each, one from the AFC, one from the NFC. Mr. D. Wayne, I want to start with you. Give me your first team that you're out looking for that you think, hey, in Madden 25, this is a coach, this is a team that you got to keep an eye out for.
Well, my first team was Roger and the Texans, and it's I kind of picked him for multiple reasons. Raj, it's one of the hardest games you'll play if he's 2-14 or 2-15 or 15-2. He's going to give you a battle every game, and that Texans roster is improved and improved. I mean, they picked up Diggs and Mixon and Daniil Hunter, and so he's picked up some big talent this year. And I know they're on the older end, late 20s, early 30s, but he's got a lot of good players to play with, and Raj maximizes every ounce of his players in that team. And defensively, he reminds me, like I said, when you used to play like Bill or Chaotix or something like that. Like you're not going to just you're not going to enjoy your offensive game when you play Roger. And then I look at the fact that in the division he's in a division with I literally had it pulled up to you still tried to look back at it with Panther, Kobe, and Bronco Man. And so he's literally a gauntlet. You got two guys there that have won OMFL championships. Another one that's been in the OMFL championship game. He couldn't have picked a harder division to play in. Kobe moving over there was a shock to me. And then Byron or Panthers, a lot of people know him. He talked a little bit about it. He decided to make that move over there. So he's got a good team, Roger does, but he's got one hell of a division to play in. And I'll be just really excited to see how Roger handles that, because he's never an easy out. He gives everybody 110% every game. And I'm excited to see what he does with this kind of revamped Texan squad.
They did not do his quarterback good at all, and that's the one I'm sort of wondering about. Like, that throwing power is it's not the worst. It's 90. We've seen guys here like you, Dwayne, win with guys with lower arms. But, like, overall, that defense, though, scary good. Athletic. They can get after the quarterback. He's got playmakers everywhere, and he's adding in the stud receiver from the Texans that's going to come over here as an import. Like, if he can get this quarterback situation figured out pretty quickly, which has sort of been his bugaboo for quite some time, I think he could be really, really dangerous. Maniac, who's your first team that you're watching out for in Madden 25?
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand with what Dwayne said. So, Kobe left the Jets, took Tennessee. The guy that's taking over the Jets, Cincy Bird, that is going to be, I think, a really scary thought for those of us in the AFC East, because Cincy has put up a lot of points, and he's getting an offense that is built to spread the ball around, and he's got a good running back also, really decent offensive line, and a stout defense to start off with. So I just really think Cincy is going to kind of take another step. I know he was with the Steelers, and the Steelers was a solid squad last Madden, but it just seemed like could never get the quarterback situation dealt, with the revolving door they had at quarterback, and then it just always seemed like he was having to rebuild something, so he never could really get rolling with the Steelers. But I think this Jets team, he comes in, there's a lot of young talent mixed with older talent, so I think he'll utilize that, especially this first season. And then he's always done pretty decent drafting and stuff, but I look for him to probably either address that quarterback situation, either bringing an import to back Aaron Rodgers up, or that'll be probably his first priority in the first draft. But yeah, since they're dangerous with those Jets flying high.
He's got some serious players over there, but he's got to figure. Like that was the question I was going to ask you if you didn't touch on it. Like, sure, Aaron Rodgers season 1, you're good, as we've seen Kobe was, but then Kobe took a minute to sort of figure things out, and then it sort of unraveled there towards the end of the cycle. He's going to have to figure this out. He's got Aaron Rodgers at 40 years old, Tyrod Taylor at 35 years old, and then a Jordan Travis with 86 throwing power. That's not going to work. I don't care how fast he really is. My first team that I wanted to talk about is actually the guy on this show right now, Mr. Maniac and the new Buffalo Bills. He was over here with me hanging out with the Atlanta Falcons, and man, talking about quarterbacks, he went through a quarterback carousel over there. He would build up guys and then fall in love with them, but he still had the stud guy that was getting all the money. Had a great running game. You did the most without the sexy wide receivers than I think any team last Madden cycle. Well, you got the quarterback thing figured out. I hate to tell you, he's also got a $50 million cap penalty, so good luck holding on to a 28-year-old quarterback. But this guy's got speed at 88. He's got throwing power. You've got everything that you're going to want there. Running back situation is pretty good here with Cooks. He's 24 years old, 92 speed. Not a lot of speed behind him, but you've got some players that can still make some plays. At wide receiver, you got Curtis Samuel at 93 speed. I think you're going to need to do something here. You got definitely some wide receivers that are going to need a little bit of help here, but KJ Hamler's got some speed. He's only 25 years old. And there's some other potential playmakers there. At tight end, you've got tons of playmakers with Knox and Kincaid. The offensive line is pretty good as we kind of scroll through these guys right here. You have to figure out that right guard spot, but I think you can figure that one out pretty quickly. Offensive line feels like the easiest thing to sort of figure out. Defensive line, man, 86 overall. Russo, Von Miller still getting it done with 86 overall. Your defensive tackles, Ed Oliver at 82, Jones at 80. So there's a lot of really good players. And I think new division, fresh start, a team that likes to establish the run, play really great defense in the AFC, and that's going to, I think, show itself to be a winning formula in the AFC. I think your Buffalo Bills, Maniac, are going to be a problem, and the AFC is going to be on notice that the Bills are going to be making much noise since Mr. Bill had them for a while, and then he handed them over to Big Hurt. Big Hurt's schedule sort of got in the way, but you're going to be over there. You're going to get things figured out pretty quickly. I think you're definitely a team to watch. Maniac, we're coming right back to you before we go over to D. Wayne. Who's your second team that you're watching for?
All right, so my second team to watch for comes from my former team that I just left with the Falcons. The Falcons do have some nice pieces to start off with, and really their roster is quite young. They do lack some things, but I think they also address some things in their free agency that a lot of teams didn't. They got some speed at wide receiver with Mooney now there, and then you got Pitts. I mean, he is going to be a problem, even though he's dropped some. And overall, I think from last Madden, I think he's starting out as superstar instead of X Factor. But he's still he's a beast, 6'6", he runs as fast as a lot of receivers and faster than some. So he's just a nightmare in a matchup situation for defenses. And then London, he fits the prototypical just possession receiver that has a little bit of big playability, especially in the red zone. And I think that fits Big Hurt's MO because he wants to run the ball. He's got Bijan now, pretty solid offensive line, especially in the rushing part of their attributes. I think they're a little bit lacking in the passing blocking, but rushing, I think he's going to be able to use a lot of that rush to make play action passing to the tight end, to those receivers. I think that's where you're going to see Big Hurt really succeed with that team. And then the defense is not terrible, but they still have some holes. I think their linebackers are really weak. So probably look if he doesn't have any linebackers that may actually affect him. Probably the first season, he's probably going to have to free agency to grab one. Hopefully, early on. If not, that could be the big thing that affects his championship run for this first season, because there is a big hole there with those linebackers. They're not really athletic.
He's also coming into a division, though. If he thought the AFC was tough, he's coming back to a division that he used to be in with the Bucs. But man, with Bird and Kevin there, he's going to have to earn every single game. Mr. Dwayne, hopefully you did not fall asleep with that little bit of a break there that you had from us. But who's your second team that you got your eyes on?
It's one that I always harp on. I think he's one of the more underrated owners here. He does a really good job of managing his team, and I know that you can look at building a team and kind of looking at different ways, from building a bad team and turning them good to having a good team and keeping them good. And I think Twinkie with the Eagles always does that. The Eagles are a pretty solid squad out of the box. They have a little mix of youth and a little mix of veterans on that team who are all really good. I mean, if you look at his top 6 players, they're all 27 or older, but you go to the next group and they're all 26, 25, 24. So he's got a good mix there. He should be good for a season or two. I didn't realize till I started looking through the salaries on it that for 2 years he gets Hurts and AJ Brown pretty reasonable, and then their cap hits take up almost $80 million of his cap room in the third season. So he's got some managing or incentive cutting or something to do with those guys. But Twink's always he's been in our division now, I think 3 or 4 Maddens, and he's a hell of a player. A lot like Roger when it comes to, no matter what his record is, he's never an easy game. I think he's actually beat me a couple times because once he gets going, he is one of the best players here if he can stay out of his own head. And I know that's a lot. I know it can be frustrating. And don't worry, Twinkie will let you know during the game how frustrating it is through his mic. But he is a hell of an opponent in the NFC East. Always gets a good game. Our NFC East is kind of twisted up this year. Me and Bill coming back to the NFC East, and then Twink has been here the last 3 months, and then we get Shiloh with the Commanders. It ought to be an interesting cycle with the NFC East. I actually think Twink with this team, I think he can make some noise this year if he just stays within himself, plays good defense, and I think he can make a good playoff run this year.
Twink is one of my favorite guys, and every time we have him on media days, I don't know, there's something about the name that just doesn't match up with the human that you see him. You're like, this guy's not a Twinkie at all. This could be Lost Sniper's twin brother. They look like they could be twins. Let me write this real quick. Teams you're watching for. I cannot talk and type, and I thought Dwayne was going to keep on for a little bit longer there, and I was trying to see what the guy. No, I'm going to stay in your division though. I want to talk about Mr. Beal, who is here in chat, coming back over to his Giants. I think that's going to really change. Oops, I went one too far. Really change what that entire division looks like. Now you got Dwayne, still king of the hill. Bill coming back with his Giants, though. Twinkie there trying to revamp. I got to say, if we can say it about Roger and his quarterback, Madden was not nice to Twinkie's quarterback. That's an 86 throwing power. That's kind of tough to play with. And then Shiloh Bad taking over those Washington Commanders who have a ton of potential. Shiloh, if you don't want that quarterback, come yell at me, okay? I need to bring my LSU kid on back home. But I think Bill stepping back in here is going to shine. Now, he doesn't have a quarterback situation, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's going to bring a quarterback over as an import. If not, he will probably let me know here in chat exactly who he's bringing over. He does lose his stud running back, so that's kind of a long-term project. I don't see any of these guys being able to cut the mustard. But he's got my guy from LSU coming over here, Malik Neighbors. He's got speed. He's got size. He's going to be able to make, as I told you in chat, he says, I am. So Bill's bringing over a quarterback and to have that situation. He's got some stud wide receivers. He still has some potential guys here at tight end. He's got 3 guys over 85 speed. So he's got a lot of speed there at tight end. A couple of those guys have some pretty decent strength. He's got a pretty decent offensive line here. I think overall, he's got to figure out some of that center position, maybe build him up a little bit. Tackle position, which I think is the easiest, especially right tackle, to figure out. He's got a young player over there. He's got really good defensive linemen. The ends, they need some work. They're going to take some work, but Bill shines there. Bill's always a very, very good defensive player. He knows how to get the most out of probably a lower rated defense. And I'm really excited. He's got Burns now going over there. That's going to be a problem for you, Mr. Manny or Mr. Dwayne. I mean, he's not your guy, Lawrence, but he's going to be able to cause some havoc back there. He's got pretty fast cornerbacks. I think Bill is going to be a problem having his favorite team back. He's going to be building them up. He's going to be pretty excited, bringing over a quarterback. That should be a ton of fun as we watch Madden 25 season. What are we in? 111. We're starting 111 here pretty soon. Fellas, this has been a hell of a show. Thank you for making time for me on a Monday night. Look at us. We're under an hour. I'm pretty proud of us, even though we didn't have a ton to talk about. This is what we got to do, guys. We got to get Maniac tired and get him here. But no, I got to poke at him. I got to get him to talk to me a little bit more. This has been a ton of fun. It's been great to have my guy Maniac back. Dwayne, I've missed you. I've been telling you for years we've missed having you on the show. I go back on our YouTube channel and just look at old stuff that we've got posted. It's just always a ton of fun to go back there and watch those old shows with Dawson and Dwayne and me and Maniac. And I was trying to figure out streaming and we had all kinds of neat setups. And those were just some fun shows to look back and think, man, 6, 7, 8 years ago, we were trying to figure out how to do this stuff. And now we've been rolling along as a weekly show for quite some time. Let's do one final thought. I'm going to hand this one over to Dwayne. Give me one final thought as we wrap things up for Madden 25 kickoff show.
Oh man, I'm excited to get back to Madden again. It was a good break. I need a break for a lot of people, and I took more of a break than most since I didn't jump in and play any of the NCAA leagues, but I have enjoyed playing the college football game. But I'm ready to get back to Madden. And I was one thing I wanted to talk about was the divisions this year, and looking at this must be the most diverse group of divisions. If you just go division to division. You can look at these and there's nobody that just sticks out as this is this guy's division, this is this guy's division. You even go down to the NFC West, and I know I think you had McFlurry on, or Mike Flurry. I'm looking at McFlurry. Mike Flurry on at one of the last shows, and he felt like he got kind of tricked into getting the NFC West with Joker, Meek Boy, and D Money. And then you go to the NFC South and see you got 4 guys who can win that division. That one, I just think this might be the most parity we've seen across every division, and at least few Maddens that I go back to. And I'm just really excited to see some of these rivalries that go. Seeing Maniac in the AFC East is different. I've always seen him as an NFC guy. I don't know if he's ever been to AFC since I've been here. But seeing him in there with Sniper, Massimo, Cincy, that's 4 guys that can win a championship. And I just think this year, I think it might be the most exciting, division-wise. I don't think you'll see divisions decided by week 11, week 12, and I think that's going to be really exciting and really good for the league.
It's going to be an absolute blast to see how these things play out. Mr. Maniac, give me one final thought here on our first Monday night Press Pass Live in quite some time.
Yeah, it feels like Monday Night Football now. It's really kind of playing off what Dwayne said. I think it is neat to see how the league is spread out now. I think there is parity there. And just to answer your question, the last time I was in the AFC was actually my first season. I was the Pittsburgh Steelers when I first joined the OMFL, and I haven't been in the AFC since. So yeah, it's kind of different feel, but. I'm looking forward to getting rolling. I think one thing, I was just kind of scrolling through some of the salary caps and stuff. It's going to be really interesting to see how the guys manage, and even myself manage salary caps, because bringing in 2 or 3 imports, some of these guys have got pretty hefty prices. There's probably going to be some oh my gosh, what am I doing moments, because it's probably going to throw some crazy salary cap numbers out there and stuff. So I'm ready to see how guys build up their teams. I'm ready to get into team builder as well. I think there's bukus and stuff we could do with that. Not only that, like the Pro Bowl rosters, you could actually make Pro Bowl uniforms that represent the AFC and the NFC, and then have those guys put on there, and even do a show and have it playing in the background like you're doing right now. And we're just talking about who made the rosters and stuff. So there's so many things that can be done. It'd be really neat. And so I'm like Dwayne. I'm ready to get started. Even though I have enjoyed NCAA, playing with the guys and stuff, I am ready to get going with Madden as well.
I am absolutely ready to go. Mr. I'm terrible at doing two things at once here, y'all, and I was trying to fix something real fast. Mr. Bill, yes, we will clear cap penalties before we start year one. I just think it's just a fair thing to do. Let's everybody start at 0, and then we can start doing what we need to do. And again, as always, some of us are in really terrible situations. I have been in one with the Saints for quite some time. So if you find yourself in just one of these ungodly situations that you didn't ask for and that we need to fix, just come have a conversation with me. We will figure it out as we go. It just takes some time to sort of figure it out. We try to put rules in place where if you're smart, you can figure it out and get yourself out of a hole. That's sort of the point. We're not letting everybody start from ground zero. It's like, you get the team that you get. You got to manage even your real life situation. But I also understand, like, my Saints, man, sometimes those things are like, I would need to be a rocket scientist to figure out how to get out of this hole. So if you find yourself in some kind of crazy situation, let's have a conversation, but know that I am going to push you to figure it out. If you don't believe me, ask one of my best friends here, Mr. Maniac, and he figured it out. He had to be talked off a cliff about 18 times, but he figured it out, and he got it figured out and got his team actually into the playoffs after telling me he wasn't even going to be able to field a team. So I know that if he can do it, you guys can do it as well. Guys, that's going to do it. Press Pass Live. We're back for OMFL. We're talking season 111. Yeah, 111 right around the corner here. So, Bird, chill out. Okay, we'll get there. We'll tell you when we're going to get started. But the rest of you, go play. Go have some fun. Come join me. We got a Madden giveaway happening right now. I'm going to give away some T-shirts later. You guys have been amazing the way you always have been. This might be one of our best ever fundraisers, and I did not expect that, just economy and everything that we're all living in. It's going to be amazing. Yes, D-Money, I will play you. I will take my smacking with a smile. It's a new Madden, so... but yeah, we're going to do lots of... Bird already in the chat when we start. We're going to do lots of giveaways. I plan on giving away maybe some PlayStation Pro controllers, maybe some headphones. I don't know. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff because you guys have allowed us to do that. Now, T-shirts cost us a lot of money. OMFL trophies cost us a lot of money. So I got to make sure we got that first. But after that, we're going to do some giveaways. So, guys, it's been a ton of fun. It's been great to see you, Dwayne Maniac. You're balancing a lot, playing and running the deuce and playing in the other college league. So I appreciate you both for making time. Guys, thank you for hanging out in chat late on a Monday. I love you guys. I'm glad we're back. I'm ready to get rolling. I've missed this league. I've missed playing. And I'm ready to see the piss, vinegar, and anger from how bad Madden is come flowing. Maniac's already warming up. He's already he's starting with like what was your message today? It was something like very like I'm just warming up to telling y'all how bad this game was. I can't even find it. It was
It was real vague. It was
yeah. But I can read through the vagueness. It was like it's very different. It's very glitchy. Here it is. It seems like the controller and the servers were irresponsive, and just like he's already he's got that college football in his system. I get it, man. He's a college football guy, but I'm glad you guys are back. I'm glad to be back. I love you. No, Bird, not Friday. Shut up. You're not doing me like you did Maniac. We can't do that, but it should be a ton of fun. I cannot wait to get rolling here.
I had to go through therapy because of him.
That I truly believe. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to try to mess around with the CFM. If you want to get in, it's all posted in the announcements. I can also invite you. Just let me know, because the CFM plays different than online head-to-head. I do have it at lower minutes because I just want to see. I just want to play around to see, like, could we have slightly faster games and not be such a time crunch? Those hour and 20 minutes can get pretty long sometimes. And so if we could get it down closer to an hour, maybe 50 minutes, that would be kind of cool. I don't know. I'm playing with the idea. Anyway, come play, come test, come help. Let's have some fun, and we're going to get busy. All right, guys, take care. Take care of yourselves. Take care of those around you. Know that I love you, that you matter around here. I cannot wait to see you on the next one. Until then, God bless.
Yeah.
Smash that like and subscribe.